Hello guys, Chris here, and welcome to this video where I'll be talking about content writing tools. But in particular, I'll be discussing one content writing tool that will help you as content writers produce better content for your clients. But before we get into that specific tool, I just want to cover tools in general. So as you would have known by now, if you've been writing for a long time as a content writer, there are lots of tools and apps to choose from. Some of them are free. Grammarly has a free Chrome extension or a Firefox add-on. So does Pro Writing Aid. MOA app is also free, but it's a desktop. And there are other paid features for Grammarly also and for Writing Aid. So there are a lot of other tools out there. These are just some of the few popular ones, but you're probably using these three the most, or if there are others, then just goes to show you that there are other content writing tools out there that aren't as popular but probably just as good. But one of the issues about content writing tools is that they just clean up your grammar and writing only. Now, obviously there are content writing tools, content writing in quotation marks, but as a content writer, there's more to just producing great content because everybody is capable of writing good content. Everybody can write grammar-free articles or uh, with sentences that are constructed very well. But that's just the tip of the iceberg as far as being a content writer is concerned, because you also have to worry about other factors such as meta tags, images, and which are part of the bigger picture, which is SEO. So if you're able to provide content that is optimized for a target keyword by your client, then the better your chances are in satisfying uh, his or her needs as far as hiring a writer is concerned. But what if I tell you that you can also have or use a tool, a content writing tool that does SEO on the side? Basically, you're writing content similar to Grammarly, in which it will help you identify the errors in your writing. At the same time, it will also give you suggestions on how you can optimize your content to help your clients rank higher for their target keyword. And this is what I'll be discussing in this video. The tool that I want to introduce to you is Ink. So in this video, you will learn what is Ink, how to use it as part of your content writing workflow or process, and I'll share with you a simple tip that where you can use tool to probably get more clients at the same time, and some of the pros and cons of these tools. Finally, I'll show you an exclusive link that you can use to get your free copy of this tool. So let me just show you how their website works. So as you can see on the screen, this is the website of Ink, and the URL is inkforall.com. You can see here, and I'll share it to you the link in the post later. So as mentioned, this is a free tool. So if you can, this is a this is a desktop-based tool. So you have to download the tool first in your computer or your desktop or your laptop, whichever you're using. You have to install it first and register for an account. But once you've done that, you will see something similar to this one, and we'll get into that shortly. So again, this is a free tool, but as you can see here, there's a pricing part. So I'll be talking about this later, about the pricing and how you can get access to its pro and premium features later. So before we get into that, I would like to show you how the tool looks like and how you can use it as part of your content writing. So I've installed Ink in my laptop, and this is immediately what you will see. So it's very minimalist and it's distraction free, so you can write here the title and the content here. So it's basically an editor of sorts, where you can see here you can add the headings, you can add bullet numbered list, sorry, and for the link and other things to help you format your content. But what's important in this part to begin, before we begin writing content, we need to focus on these parts. So first is the SEO. So click on this icon in order to show to you this part. Wait, just a second. So once you click on the SEO icon here, you will see that you need to enter in this part the key phrase or the target keyword that you need to optimize for. So for example, just this is a previous article that I've worked on. Why does my life suck? This is just an example. So if you enter this one, you will see here that it will crawl, uh, I guess Google, uh, it will crawl the results from Google, the top ranking pages, and it will scrape information from those ranking pages to help build the information that you need to know about the article and what you need to write in it before you begin. And it also analyzes other things like semantic modeling and NLP and stuff like this. So the idea here is that it gets the best of the best content that is ranking for the keyword, and it will deliver and will spit out to you the information that you need to write. So once that's done computing, you will see here that the ink score is 0 because there's nothing written here yet. And from here, you need to build your content. So once you're doing that, another cool feature of ink is when you click on this part, the outline, you can write first what you need to plot out here. So if you haven't started anything yet, this part will allow you to create like a draft of sorts or bullet points. So what you need to write about the topic, you will add here, add the links or whatever you feel that or writing here. Now the idea behind writing an outline first is to help you come up with the points that you need to flesh out in your content. Therefore, by doing that, you don't have to think on the fly. Since everything is listed down in the outline, it's much easier for you to write your content. So I suggest that you use this feature and write your outline first before you begin writing the actual article. So once you've done that, you'll be able to write your piece using also some of the features here or the formatting features to make it easier for you to export it later, which I will share with you later. So right now I just want to fill this out with content. So give me a second while I copy paste something. So as you can see here, there's already content that I filled out in the editor. So the title is meets the keyword that I'm trying to optimize for. So from here, you will see that the score is populated based on these factors, the word tasks and the document tasks. So once you're done writing the article, you can try to improve the score and make it better by clicking on these factors. So let's start with the word tasks. So first is the spelling and grammar. So it will, if you click on this part, it will show you the errors that the tool detected and that you need to check out, or rather correct in this part. So there are some mistakes here. So why does my life sucks? So it should be suck, right? So it's one of the many other things. So again, regarding content writing tools, they're not always going to give you the correct suggestions. So it's really better if you review the content by yourself, manually check if the corrections are actually or the suggestions are actually correct, and if not, you can just ignore them. So this part, to better days, to bettering days, doesn't make sense, right? So just leave it as is. So again, just make sure that if you're going to follow the suggestions that the tool will have, it should be correct. So for example, this part, surrounding yourself with these and other negative things, yeah, so there are 36 issues here, so you can just click through using the down icon to proceed and try to identify the errors and manually see for yourself if you need to change them using the suggestions from the tool. So that's one way of correcting your grammar. So similar to Grammarly or Pro Writing Aid, you can do this instantaneously. So you don't have to spend time, hours editing or whatever you do when you edit. So basically, but with using this tool, it will automatically identify what those errors are, so you can just take a look and see if they are really, if you need to correct it. So let's assume that you're done with that. We move on to the next part, which is composition. So if you click on this part, or rather, you can just read um, the certain errors that you will see here. So for example, issues rather. So one section of your text is over 300 words now. So what's that section? So I think it's the first part. Anyway, so I guess this is the part. Yeah, okay, so if you click on this one, it should show you, I think it's the intro part, so I need to cut this down. So that's the idea that it's trying to impart. So you need to make sure that everything that's under a subheading H2 or H3 needs to be less than 300 words in order to make it easier for people to read your content. And that's the idea behind composition, because even if you have the best uh, insightful content you have on your page, it doesn't really matter if people don't want to read it. So by improving its composition score, you'll make it easier for them to read. They will read from top to bottom, and that's what we want as content writers. So aside from the section, the length of the section, there are also, it helps you identify, this tool helps you identify hard to read sentences and very hard to read. So if you've used a tool like Hemingway app, it also has this feature, but you don't have to use that anymore because you can just refer to this tool from Ink, this feature from Ink, so it'll be much easier. So if you corrected something, it will give a check mark, so you can it will no longer identify that as an issue. You can move on to the other issue. So next is hard to read. For example, this part, you usually hard to read sentences, you can just make them shorter, just cut them down into shorter sentences. So in this part, and when you're experiencing, doesn't seem to be. Anyway, I don't really want to edit it at this point. Just want you to show that you can edit this. There are many ways to edit this in your own way. So I'll just leave it at that. So just follow some of these suggestions here. And if you scroll down, you will see uh, the tasks that the article fulfills based on the suggestions that the tool provides. For example, the word count is over 1577. So this is important because you don't want to go below the word count. Normally you don't want to go over this much, but at the same time, what's much more important is to not go under. You want to mention information in the content that is relevant to the keyword, and at the same time it should be as many words as possible as well. So other aside from word count, it also tells you other things like proper use of subheadings, number of passive voices that you need to use. So it shows you how many, the maximum number that you should use based on the number of words, and also the adverbs as well. So you need to minimize them, or also the readability score. So these factors you need to observe when you write in order to help your content be better in terms of being easier to read and much more easier to process from a reader perspective. So that covers the word task. Now we go to document tasks. This is different factor. So if you hover over some of these, both, it will show you how many percent you can improve if you follow all of its suggestions. For example, there are 6 issues identified in the document tasks. So yeah, you can see here some of the things. Consider using exact key phrase in your first paragraph. So it's not like you can just click on it and you can just automatically fix it by just clicking on it. But you read in this part, the document task, you need to dig deep and go into the weeds of your content and just find ways to follow the suggestions based here. So consider entering the exact key phrase. So you need to enter somewhere in the first or second sentence of the paragraph. So by following, once you've done that, it will produce a check mark, and then you move on to the next suggestion. So yeah, these are the things that you need to follow. So aside from that, under So for the content, those are the things. Next is the metadata. So you also need to include that here. Usually the meta title is the title of the post. So let's try and do that. Copy and paste. We click it here, add metadata. So there. Meta description. Let's just copy the title. But anyway, just erase it. So you have to include the meta description there as well. So let's assume that we've done all of this, and the score will increase from 8 to 85%. So it's very good, but as much as possible, you want to increase it to 100, because to make sure that at least you have all your bases covered. You won't have any issues moving forward in terms of getting the content to rank for your client site. So that's really the point of why we're using content writing tools, is to help your clients produce better content, website content, therefore helping them rank higher. So at the same time, by doing that, we can also, you as content writer can also possibly get higher pay from this client of yours, especially if you keep doing this process. So that's how Inc works. If you're a content writer, you can use it to improve your SEO and content writing score here. So it's really easy. Just click here and follow the suggestions based on on what the tool finds, based on also the competitors. As we saw earlier, it's create the best content online, and you have to just observe the things that it finds for you. And I also mentioned earlier that you can use Inc to help you find clients, or at least in this case, it can help you recover some of the clients that you're no longer working with, but you want to try and get them back. So what I find uh, really useful with this tool is that on the file you can import URLs. So for example, if you've written content for a client and it's been published there, or if a previous client of yours has a content that was written by someone else, you can import it here. So for example, uh, let me just come up with something here. So I'm here in my browser, and this is a potential client. For example, this is just I'm going to use an example. This is not really a client of mine, but for the purpose of this video, I want to use this as an example. So self-storage insurance, for example. This is an article. This is a client that I've worked for before, hypothetically, and this is content that someone else has written for this client. So what I want to do is to take this post, copy its URL, and but before I go, regarding the keyword, usually the keyword is found in the URL. So I guess the keyword here is self-storage insurance or storage insurance. So we can just this I think it's storage insurance. So this is the keyword, since it's in the title and in the URL. So we'll go with that. So we go back to the tool. We import the tool by copying the URL and pasting it here. Add the URL and let it collect the data first. So from here it will pull out the content from that page, including the pictures and stuff. So from there you should be able to see here the content in entirety. And next, what you want to do is to click on SEO, enter the keyword. So the keyword is storage insurance. So what it will do, it will scrape Google or search engines for the best content ranking for the keyword storage insurance, and it will spit out uh, data that we need to do in order to improve the content. But in this case, what we want to do is to use the score and see if it's optimized enough for the keyword or not. Because what we want to show to the client is that you can make a much better content for this article, for this topic, by rewriting the content using Inc. and improving the score based on what was initially shown here. So we'll just wait for this to compute first before we can proceed. So as you can see here, it's 72%. So it's average, but there's a lot of room for improvement. So in order to do that, you can just follow these tasks. So, but we don't want to do that yet. What we can just take a look and see if it's doable, if it's something that you can do yourself, then that's great. Just to give you an idea, here it is. So there's 6 word tasks that you need to improve. So the idea is to remove adverbs and to improve the hard to read sentences. So other than that, well, also the links also include more links. But aside from that, that's it. And also for the document task, there's also things that you need to complete here. So again, that's the score. And if you think you can make it better, which you can because everything is laid out here in this tool, what you can do next, let's say there's something that you can do, you can reach out to that previous client of yours and say, hey, it's been a while since we talked. So this is the email now. Hello, client. It's been a while since we talked. I hope you're good. I just saw in your blog that you have this post written on your blog, storage insurance. So place the link there, and then I think well, first it's good. It's a great piece about storage insurance, and add more if you want. And then from there you can say, but I think I can improve this because I ran this article using my tool, and it only showed a 72% score. So if you'd like, I can try to improve this for you to raise the score up to at least a 90 or even 100. So it's up to you on how you want to reword that. But the idea is to provide value to that client in order for him or her to reply. So by showing by I think what you can do is to screenshot this part and to show to clients that it is average based on what ink the tool ink detected. So from here, what you want to do now is to show to the client that you can improve the scores, and that you should be able to communicate that in the email. So from there, the idea is again to get back into their good graces. Maybe they after seeing your email, they will think twice and see what you can do. And once you fix the content based on the suggestions here, and also try to put your input in the article so you can edit certain sections that you feel needs to be included. And from there, once you've returned the content, they can probably take a better look at your content, hire you again. So that's the end goal, is to get more jobs. So that's just an idea that I thought of just by you trying out this tool. So maybe that would be helpful for you. So consider that in your client acquisition strategy or whatnot. And I hope it really helps you, not just from that aspect, but also in the creation of better content for your clients. So before we end this video, I would like to to point you to signing up to the tool. So you can go to inkforall.com to sign up and get your free copy of the tool. But if you enjoy this video, you can just copy this link. So it's christopherjohnb.com/recommends/ink. So you can sign up using my link. So if you use this link, I will get a point from there. So meaning I'll get referral points. So again, it's not really I mean, if you just enjoy this video, I would like to suggest that you use this link instead of going to inkforall.com. So either way, it's okay, it's fine. But more importantly, you need to sign up before October 9 of this week, of this year, so to enjoy its pro features. So as mentioned earlier, there's a pricing page in the site. So right now, they only have a free version of the tool available. But by October 9, which is 2 days from now, you'll be they'll be launching their pro features, and by then I'm not sure if the tool will be free until then. So right now, take advantage of this offer, sign up, and that's it. So if you have any questions, please send comment below or let me know what you think. Thanks.